Alright guys, welcome back. I thought I'd do another mod installation tutorial. This time I'm going to cover the game 7 Days to Die. Right, let's get straight into it. First thing, sorry. The first thing that you're going to want to make sure you do is obviously have the game installed. Once you've got the game installed, navigate to where you've got it installed. For me, mine's on my E drive, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and then we got 7 Days to Die. Now you'll see I've got one called 7 Days to Die mods, so we'll cover that. Now, what you're going to want to do, this is optional, but I'd recommend it just so that if you make a mistake at all, you're not messing with the original game files, you're not corrupting anything. So I would recommend you copy the original 7 Days to Die folder. Now this is like the main folder, so right click, copy, and then paste. And then if you paste it, you'll get a folder. You can see just under this box, 7 days, no, not that one actually, 7 Days to Die copy. And what you want to do, and I've already done it, just rename it. And you'll see I've renamed mine already to mods. So 7 Days to Die, and then just rename it to whatever you want. You can change the old thing, but just rename it so you know this is the 7 Days to Die folder. This is also the one that's going to contain mods. So for me, 7 Days to Die, mods. Simple. All you need to do. But again, rename it to whatever you want. Now, again, that is optional. You can do what I'm about to show you. Let me just cancel this because we now don't need it. Right, there we go. So, what I'm about to show you, you can do in the original 7 Days to Die folder. But like I said, sorry, throat this morning. But like I said, it's probably best to do it in a copied version so we don't corrupt anything with the original game files. And also, if you ever want to play 7 Days to Die vanilla, we've got the vanilla files there that we can play from. Where this is going to be the modded one. So every time we load from this 7 Days to Die folder, it's going to load 7 Days to Die, but with all the mods. Right, so once you've renamed it, double click on it and go inside that folder. Now you're going to want to create, if it's not already in here, I believe by default it isn't, but if you haven't already got a folder, you want to create a folder called mods. So just check that it's not already in there, and if not, just create one, just like you can see there, with a capital M. I don't know if capitals make a difference. All the videos I've seen, they've always used a capital M, and as you can see by the default files, it's always a capital letter at the start. Right, once you've created that folder, basically you can open it up, it doesn't really matter, but you can see I've got all my mods in here. Right, now's the time to show you how to actually install the mods. So go to whatever, web browser you're using. I like to use Google as well, and search. You can search 7 Days to Die mods. Right, now from what I've seen, there's two websites. There's 7daystodiemods.com or nexusmods.com. No, I have been on the 7 Days to Die website, but I've not actually downloaded mods from it. I've used the Nexus mods. So, I find Nexus have got a good range of mods. They've got some nice mods. But you should be able to apply the same principle if you see some mods on this website. That's maybe not on this website. Right, now what we're going to need to do is we're going to click on the Nexus mods. Now, that one downside with Nexus mods is you do need to create a free account to download anything. Now, it literally takes less than a minute to create a free account, and like I said, it is free. And then once you've done that, you're good to go. If you want to download, I did a tutorial for a game a few weeks ago, and I used this website to download mods. So, once you create a free account, the free account will be it. You don't need to create a free account for each type of game. Right, once you're on here, create your free account. If once you've created your free account, it takes you off the 7 Days to Die game page, let's just click this cross here, and it basically now has put us to the main nexusmods.com website. This is the main website. So if we want to get on to 7 Days to Die, we can literally go to games, all games, in this box here, 7 days, and then it's right there. We'll click on that. or double click on that, should I say, and it takes us back to the 7 Days Today website. And in this top box here, we can search for mods. Now, there's a turret mod that I quite like the look of, that I want to try. So you can just search for stuff, and the mod, I want to make sure as well, try and make sure if you can, it works with the recent 7 Days Today 1.0 patch. Okay, the one I saw is not on here. Let me last updated. This is the one. CTVI turrets V1 ready. So the version 1. So this is the version 1.0. So this should work. Now, when downloading mods and installing mods, I would recommend you only do 1 or 2 at a time. That said, some mods may not work, or some mods may conflict with other mods. And if your game doesn't load, because the mod is not working, if you install a load of mods, you're going to have to try and delete all them mods, I don't know, one by one or whatever you do, to try and figure out which mod is causing the issue. Where if you only install 1 or 2 mods and you're having issues, you can just delete one mod, try the game. If it works, great, you know the mod you deleted is the issue. If it doesn't work, you can delete the other mod and put the first mod back in, try the game. If that works, great, you know the other mod was the issue. If it doesn't work with that second mod, well then you know both of them mods are not working. And it's just probably easier rather than to install, I don't know, quite a few mods at one time and have that trouble. So I would just do 1 or 2 at a time. Now, I will get to something in a minute. But yeah, so once you find the mod, basically click on it. If you scroll down, it usually says a little bit what it does, and you can have a read. But if you click files, just there. Some you may have different versions. Some have like server files and client files. I think you only need the client side files. Some just have one file. But click manual download, and then just the slow download. The fast one is obviously the paid version, but we've only got a free account, so we just do the slow download. And as long as you've got pretty decent internet, like my internet's not great, but as long as you've got pretty decent internet, it doesn't actually take that long at all anyway. Right, and that's downloading up here. Now, I've chosen my download for this to go into my mod folder. So when you're downloading, if you can, just because it makes it easier, try and download the mod to your mods folder that you just created. So if we put up this mod folder, try and download it into this location, and you can see mine's come here at the very bottom. If you can't choose it to come here, you'll have to go to wherever it's downloaded, so probably your downloads folder, and you can either copy download like the zip version to this folder, or you can unzip it wherever it is. And yes, sorry, I forgot to mention that you will need some sort of zip program to unzip these, because they do come in a zip, or they come in like a RAR file. Windows these days, I think, has zip applications already installed, so you should be good to go. But yeah, so if you can't choose for it to download here, you can either do 2 things. You can unzip it from where it is and then move the unzipped folder into this location, or you can move the zip file into this location, then unzip it in this location. Now, like I said, I've chose mine to come here. Good thing with Brave web browser is you can choose where you download it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the zip, the mod that I've just downloaded. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm just going to extract here. Now, I'm using BandyZip, so if you're using a different zip program, you'll have a different sort of option. But just extract the actual zip file to this location. So we're going to extract that there. That's extracted, and you can now see when I can find it. There, CTV turrets 1.00. We've got the main extracted folder. This is what we need. Now, at this point, we're done. Mods installed. We can load up the game. So I'll show you how to do that. But what we can either do is we can either keep this zip file here. It's up to you. Or we can delete it. Now, I'm going to right click and delete it, because I'm pretty sure this is going to work. You can also keep the zip file here, because if one, say, like I just said before, download, say, 2 mods. If one doesn't work, you can delete one. And then if that doesn't work, you can delete the other mod, and then you can reinstall the first mod. So if you keep the zip file here, you can just simply right click and extract it again to try it, if that kind of makes sense. But anyway, I'm just going to delete it because I believe it should work. Right, so all we now need to do is we go back to the 7 Days to Die mods folder, or the main folder. So whatever you call it, I've just called mine 7 Days to Die mods. So whatever you call your folder, go back and then you want to look for the 7-day launcher.exe. Don't launch from the 7 Days to Die exe. You want to launch from the 7D launcher.exe. So I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to load the launcher. Now, make sure you disable or you remove the use easy anti-cheat. So by default, there's a tick there. Untick it. Now, this is needed. I think most mods, if not all, require you to remove this. If you have this there, I believe they don't work. Now, I don't think it's removed because of some sort of cheating thing. I don't think the game thinks that you're cheating using mods. And we're definitely not cheating. We're just simply using mods. Like, it's not like we're using aimbot or ESP or anything like that. It's just simple mods. So I don't believe it's actually for cheat purpose. It's just the mods require you to not have this enabled. So untick it and then click run and save as default. And then this is going to run. This should, let's just move this over. Right, and then this should launch up the game. So give me a second while this launches. Okay, it's launching up the game. It's doing its bit up the top here. Right, we're now on the main game. So, what you can now do is you can click new game. You can go through whatever settings you want your world to be. Give your game a name, whatever random name. You know, once you've done your settings, click start. Let's just click start. Let's just see if it actually loads in. Now, at the top here, we've got this little console thing. If there's any issues with mods, it should come up in red text, and it should say what mod it is. Now, you can install 6, 7, 8 mods at one time, and it should tell you, if there is a mod issue, it should tell you the name of the mod in red text, what the issue is. But sometimes it may not, and that's why I recommend only you install 1 or 2 mods at a time. So if it doesn't tell you what the mod issue, which mod is causing the issue, it's simply easy to figure out. Now we've got some red text here for some trader mountain stuff and vehicles, but it still works. It still works. So let's say when you see red text, I think red text is bad, but either way, it seems to still work. And so far, mine takes a little bit to load in. I would give it, depending on your system, it usually takes a couple of minutes for me. I would give it between 5 to 10 minutes, and if your game hasn't loaded in and it's like stuck on this screen, you know you probably got a problem. But by that stage, you should have a load of red text at the top here, like underneath this, and you should be able to read what mod is causing the issue, hopefully. But there we go. We loaded in, and we can simply get rid of that with escape, and we're in. Now, sorry. Now, obviously, you can't just obviously see the mods. The one mod that you can see, and if anyone knows or plays 7 Days to Die regularly, I've got like a compass mod on, so you can see it's telling me the time, which I think is default. The compass and I think the day and time is default, but you can see it's got temperature 16 degrees Celsius, and I think the plus 56 M. I think that's probably the altitude. Is that the right word? I think that's how far we're up, maybe. I'm not too sure. And it also says player temp, which I don't think is default. But you can see we have got a compass mod, and it's a little bit different, so you know the mods are working. We've also got an airdrop mod, which gives us more airdrops. We've also got a mod that adds more items to airdrops. So I need to find an airdrop for that to test that. But yeah, the mods are installed. So yeah, happy playing. And oh, bit of a bonus. So let me escape out of this. I'll give you a bit of a bonus, and I want to show you how to make it easier to load the game up. So if we just quit out of this, I want to bring my Steam across. So instead of going to your files each time, let me bring this back across. Instead of coming to like this location each time, finding your right folder, clicking in it, finding the launcher, right, to play it, we can add it to Steam. So if you don't know how to do that, go to your Steam, go to games, add non-Steam game to library. So if this is in a different language for you, the fourth tab across, 1, 2, 3, and right at the bottom. Right, once you're there, let this load, but you can click browse and then navigate to where that is. So again, same location that we're in, navigate to where it is, find the launcher, click the launcher and click open. Right, then that should be in here somewhere. It might not be in here because I've already done this, but it should. Let's just make sure I did do it. 7 Dayz to Die launcher. Right, we'll just double click on it, and it should. I don't think it'll do it because I've already done it, but it will add it into your games library down here on the left, and it'll probably put it into the uncategorized version. Yeah, I don't think mine's done it because I've already got it, but look for it in your library down here. It should just say, I think, 7 Dayz to Die or 7 Dayz launcher, something like that. But look for the one that's not the actual 7 Dayz to Die game. So this top one here, it says 7 Dayz to Die. This is the main game that I've installed from Steam. But yeah, so once you found it, you can. So this is up here at the top. But when I first added it, it was down the bottom in my uncategorized list. So you would click on it. So right click on it, go to properties, and then you can just change it. Just change it so you know it's not the default one. So I've just called it, I just put mods at the end basically, and then close it. And then when you want to play 7 Dayz to Die with the mods, you can literally just double click on it and launch it. It loads the launcher. I think at this stage you can just click run, but I will just click run and save as default, and then it will just load the game up. That way you can just launch it from Steam. You don't need to go into your files to find it. And if you ever want to play the vanilla 7 Dayz to Die, you can just click on the original 7 Dayz to Die game and click play, and that will load just the vanilla files. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have fun and peace out.